Hope everyone's had the chance to get something to eat and have a drink, and we're ready to resume with the agenda. And hopefully, famous last words, that we'll get through it reasonably expeditiously. We are up to item 11, which is the Point Chev to Westmere Improvements Project update. A few councillors were on a site visit there. I think Councillor Ferry and Councillor Fletcher. Thank Barry Potter for organising that, and those sort of site visits are always made available to anyone, and I'll get Barry to say a little bit more about that later on in the piece, I think, once we get to the information memorandum. So, welcome to our presenters. And it's Murray and Fatima. Over to you, Murray.
Great. Thanks a lot, Chair. Here today I'm joined by Fatima, who's the project manager for this project. And today really is an update or an inform so that you as councillors are better prepared to answer any questions that might come your way about this project. And just by way of introduction, this is a collaborative project across the council group, delivered in a dig once approach to be cheaper and faster. And it includes stormwater sewer separation together with healthy waters, some flood resilience aspects, utility undergrounding, road pavement rehabilitation, footpath renewal, new bus stops, transit lanes, intersection upgrades. So it's a large and major project, and I'll hand over to Fatima to talk us through where we're at.
Thank you, Murray. So this project has started in construction in October 2023, and it's delivered in stages with completion expected mid-2025. As you can see on the slide, stage 1 is complete for Meola Road, Point Chevalier Road, and we've just started stage 1 for Garnet Road, and we're in stage 2. So we've got several detours and stop-go lane closures. So this project, we have a high level of support from local boards and the community, and our focus has, with the communication and stakeholder engagement, has been on the immediately impacted residents and communities around the site. So Auckland Transport and Auckland Council have been working together to take on board the feedback and improve communication and engagement. So we acknowledge that we're not perfect in that area, but we have focused on improving. So here you can see the next stage in traffic disruptions with each of the roads, corridors, and the stages. And you can also see Point Chevalier Road. It's quite we've got a detour going northbound. You turn right on Tui and then up Huia, and then through Point Chev, and we've got the southbound open. Whereas Meola Road, you can see the stop-go closure, and Garnet Road as well. Oops. We've also made a focus on ensuring that those who use the public transport are aware of the buses that are operating. So you can see Outerlink, 66, 650, 101, they're still operating. And Meola Road is operating right now, so we've got some bus stops there. And we do acknowledge and recognise that many people outside of the immediate area use these roads. And Auckland Transport and Auckland Council comms teams, we're working jointly in improving the communication to the wider community. So during our TIC site visit a couple of weeks back, it became clear that the councillors are keen to use their networks to generate support for Auckland Transport and the council group in the delivery of the project, and to help people understand and adjust for the unavoidable disruptions with this and other projects. So we're here to share this information today to help councillors in their messaging to the wider Auckland. So we're happy to receive feedback on how Auckland Transport and Auckland council communications teams can help councillors get the message out wider. So you can see here with each of the corridors, our plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Fatima and Murray. So we'll open it up for questions now. Councillor Dalton.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you so much for all of the work that you're doing. I know it's been a tricky project in terms of comms, and it's always disruptive for community, which isn't helpful, but how do you get progress without it, right? So what would help me is just some JPEGs that I can put on social media, because it's hard to, I don't know how to put PDFs into JPEGs, so just something, I don't know how much information but whatever I can do to help you. It's an incredible project to achieve all of those different parts of it in a one dig approach. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We will definitely send that to you.
Member Brown.
Kia ora. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you both. I just want to focus in on a comment or a part of a statement here. And I'm sort of looking to change behaviours around the use of the term mana whenua as a catch-all phrase for all iwi and tāmaki. So I just want to focus in on the bullet point of mana whenua support working closely with whai maia from the Mighty Ngāti Whātua. I put Mighty in there because I've got huge respect. Could you just elaborate on that statement? What does it mean?
Yep. So Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, they currently have another group called Whai Maia, which is part of that. And they're the support for us to connect with the artists. So they've been helping us on the journey to work with mana whenua on the mahi toi. So we currently have our cultural design in progress. And yeah, it's still in progress.
Yeah, no, I think what you got to be careful is that when you say that, what it actually intimates is that everyone's supporting and working closely, and we are, especially in this sort of realm, but there's actually no need for an intermediary between relationships iwi have with council and the CCOs, because that's actually where the relationship sits. There's a little bit of crossover with us. We love to work together, but this comment doesn't really reflect the preciseness of what you just said. And I just want you to be careful when you throw that word around, because you're talking about a whole lot of iwi that are autonomous but related, and I don't want you to get in trouble, if you like, around assuming everyone's doing something. So it was sort of a question and a comment.
Thank you.
I think we can take that as noted, and yeah, thank you.
Ka pai.
And Councillor Bartley.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Thank you both, Fatima and Murray. I have family that live in that area, and they are supporting of this. I'm supporting of it. We do the dog park over there, so we're crossing over that road constantly and risking my poor Milo's life. So, yeah, good project. My question is, well, actually, we've been advocated to make decisions, mokopuna decisions for our young people. So I wanted to know, is there any feedback or, recent comments from the students that came and advocated to us in support of this project? Are they happy with how it's going?
Yeah, so in February, we had the Engineering New Zealand Wonder Day with Western Springs College. So we got to work with them and take them out to site. And they are really excited for this because their concerns was safety. And then last Friday, we also visited Pasadena Intermediate. We had 14 students, year 8, 13 of them were female. And it was so exciting to share about the journey and taking them to site. So they were so excited. So a lot of the young people in the area are using active modes, so cycling, walking, taking their dogs out.
Awesome, thank you. Good to hear.
And Councillor Darby.
Thank you both. Incredible project. When I was there a couple of months ago, I cycled along there and with some local people, and I was surprised by how deep the cut was. And I spoke to one of the Dempsey Wood workers, and he said in some places they had to dig some pretty deep holes to get to base material. Can you just describe some of the difficulties that you faced as you got into digging the ground and found that the contamination from the Meola Road fill was a lot deeper? And if you could maybe expand on some of the sustainability outcomes working with Dempsey Wood. This is the first time I've seen in a report some of the very focused work on a reuse of concrete, reuse of materials, that sort of thing. And is that Murray, is that something that you'll be taking forward for other projects as well? So just first question was on just the depth of the hole and all the material that needed to be put in that hole to bring back up, and sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yes, it was challenging for us because if you look at the whole of Meola Road, previously it was a swamp and then it was a contaminated landfill, and then obviously we built over it. And so with the construction methodology, the design was granular. So when the team dug deep, the deepest we went was 1.3 meters. And it wasn't just one part of the road, it was like many parts of the road. So on both sides, it was really challenging for the team, but they overcame it and we managed to hit the deadline of making sure Meola Road Stage 2 was open for people to use. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and just to the second part of the question, yeah, absolutely, this project is using recycled aggregates, and that's a process that we're looking to encourage across all of our programs. And Auckland Transport now has a specification for use of recycled aggregates in road construction. So yeah, we're actively promoting that from a sustainability perspective.
Okay, that would appear to be all the questions we've got. Is there any of the councillors like to move and second this? Councillor Bartley, seconded by Councillor Ferry. Does anyone want to speak to it?
I just wanted to add, I want to acknowledge Fatima. This is the first time we've had a Samoan woman engineer present to us in the history of Auckland Council. So you're making history, Fatima. Just acknowledging
Thank you,
you.
Josephine.
Okay,
Dean, good stuff.
right, and we have a couple of people wanting to speak to this, so Councillor Ferry and Councillor Walker.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the site visit. I've had two now, and even just seeing the difference in that 6-week period and acknowledging the crew. And sorry, you do probably need to step back, otherwise we talk at you, which we're not supposed to do at this point. So I just wanted to acknowledge the hard work that's gone in here, the usefulness of the information that's being presented to us. I'd say if people want updates in future, perhaps that's something we do by a briefing, because I think the progress here is significant, that there aren't necessarily any more decision points for us. But welcome the discussion today, and thank you, colleagues, for your support of the project. Thanks.
Councillor Walker?
Sure. My comments are informed by cycling along the area and having a look at it a little while ago, and I think it should be acknowledged that there was a significant amount of community opposition to all or parts of this project, and my understanding is that a substantial part of that opposition remains. I think the proof will be as to whether the overall mobility along that route is improved, and that includes buses, but also people travelling by whatever other form of vehicle there is. And certainly what has been brought to my attention is the way that the corridor is compromised. So if you're behind a bus, you'll be stopping. I don't think you've got pullover areas for buses. That's the way things are being run across Auckland these days. So I hope that we've got some very good measurements around the throughput of the corridor as it was previously, and then we can measure that with what it becomes. And I would suggest that what will happen on this corridor, as with many other corridors, is you won't get the throughput because people will simply avoid it because it'll be too congested and too much of a problem to use. So how people will negotiate going from A to B around parts of Auckland remains to be seen. And as far as the cycleway is concerned, my view is that we can adopt a far more pragmatic approach to cycleways in the form of shed paths, so we can roll them out far quicker and get more people shifting modes than the way we're doing it now, where the whole integrity of mobility across a number of modes is compromised. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Councillor Hills.
Thank you, and thanks for the update. It's nice to see these big projects come to us for a bit more overview. Just want to thank Fatima and Murray and the team have seen this project really well promoted and all the different parts promoted as well. Of course, it's great to see this continue after we did have, I think it was about 50 organisations, all the schools, and significant support from communities. And I think the strongest feedback, I think most of the feedback was pro around the cycleways, despite that only being a very small part of the overall upgrade. It was a very, very old structure, and significant amounts of work has been done that to fix it, the stormwater itself, and it's great to hear all the different organisations coming together, and I hope we continue these types of projects into the future, because there are roads like this all over Auckland that are in dire need of the renewal, but also those benefits and additions which we're seeing with the safety and across the safety improvements in cycling and others. So just want to say that it's great that all those groups that came to us are seeing really good progress. Thank you.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you.